Praise you in this storm, and I will lift my hands, for you are who you are. No matter where I am, in every tear I've cried, you hold in your hands. You never left my side, though my heart is torn. I will praise you in this storm. I remember when I stumbled in the wind. You heard my cry, you raised me up again. But my strength is almost gone. How can I carry on if I can't find you? But as the thunder roars, I barely hear you whisper through the rain, I'm with you. And as your mercy falls, I raise my hands and praise the God who gives and takes away. And I'll praise you in this storm, and I will lift my hands, for you are who you are. No matter where I am, in every tear I cry, you hold in your hand. You never left my side. How can I carry on?
Good afternoon. Welcome back to Padre's Ponderings. We switched things up a little bit today. Change is good.
Change is normative now. And
Right.
If you hadn't been able to have flexibility, you're in deep trouble in this coronavirus time because everything has changed. But the thing is, it's going to keep on changing. It's been changing all along. It's just we get stuck in our ways. Now you can't get stuck in your ways. You got to make some changes. See, so
We don't know what those ways are.
we don't know what they are.
Yeah, sorry, my mask got hooked on my microphone. Sorry about that.
I have mine
Speaking
at the ready.
of Corona.
Have mine at the ready on the side over here.
Okay.
In case I run into somebody with corona, I put my mask on. I tell you, that's going to be an amazing thing as we move into the flu season. How are you going to know every time you get a sniffle? Are you going to have to run and get checked? How's all that going to work out when you have different things colliding that appear to be similar? How's that going to work out? I don't know. I don't know. One of those things.
That we don't know.
No, we don't know. Mm-hmm. So you got a big week?
You know what I did this morning?
There's no telling. No telling. What'd you do?
So I was off yesterday. You were off yesterday. Sunday was a busy day.
Busy day.
We'll talk about that in a minute. I was getting ready, about to walk out the door, and you know, I've been taught that vitamins are important. I know you take a whole, like,
Your mama
it's a
loads.
basket full.
Your mama has a little plastic cup there, and she just loads it up, puts the orange juice right there by it. You know.
So I went to take my vitamins real quick before I walked out the door, and I almost took melatonin gummies this morning. Do you know what that is?
No. What are you talking about?
It helps you to go to sleep. So instead of grabbing the gummies for like fruits and vegetables type thing, I almost grabbed the melatonin.
See, I don't know.
Which would have meant I would have been sleeping right now.
Your mama has in that cup, there must be 15 different things in there. And your mama could slip some of that melatonin in there, because I don't even look at them, I just throw them in, you know.
What do you say? That when you die, you're just going to be propped up? What do you say?
Yeah, I've got so much vitamins in my body that my flesh is not going to deteriorate. When I die, they're just going to stand me in the corner, because I'm not going to go into anything like, I got too much stuff in my body.
You got too many minerals in my
I got minerals, I got vitamins, energy stuff, orange juice, I'm loaded. Your mama's always on the watch out. What's the next thing coming down the line? Let's see. Next thing
Which
coming.
is good,
Yep.
because she keeps you going.
Hey, I'm
That's
all
good.
for it.
Well,
I'm
that's
all
good.
for it.
Yeah. So I'm
Have
glad
my-
that I didn't take the melatonin today, because otherwise I really would have been sleeping right now. So that would have been
That wouldn't be
change.
good. That wouldn't be good. No, it wouldn't be good.
So, but let's go back to Sunday.
Sunday.
Jason, where am I supposed to be looking? Because I'm opposite now. Am I supposed to look right here? Wherever.
we changed-
Okay.
yeah, You know, back before you were born.
Okay, we're going
When I
back
was a
further than Sunday.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's right. Shifting gears a second. The earliest newscast that I remember seeing was, it hadn't been long after we got a television in our house. And my father would always, when he got home, he always wanted to watch the evening news, black and white and all that. And the two big guys back then were Walter Cronkite and Edward R. Murrow. And then there was this revolutionary change in television news broadcasting. And it was NBC, and they brought on Huntley and Brinkley. And
David
there were
Brinkley?
and Chet Huntley. There were two of them on there. Now on our newscast, there's people
like
all over the
15
place
people.
and stuff jumping in. But
Right.
you didn't have any of that. So, but you had two people there playing off of each other, and that was a startling, revolutionary kind of change. Nobody thought it would work. Nobody thought you could compete with Walter Cronkite, because he was the man.
He was a legend.
He was the man. He's a legend, yeah. They did a thing one time about who was the most trusted person in the country, and he was number one, and God was number two.
Oh my God.
Seriously. And this is back before people started drifting away from church. This is in the 50s. He was number one. God was number two. I think Billy Graham came in at 3.
Wow, what if we asked that today?
Oh.
Woo! That'd be tragic.
Yeah, probably be some blanks.
Right, nobody.
Blanks. Depends on the day. Depends on what you hear.
Yeah.
Just a lot of sadness and all that. But that is what it is. All right, back to Sunday. I digress. I digress.
You were on the historic campus,
Yes, I was.
so everything went well over there.
Oh yeah. Something
Big crowd.
special happened over there.
On the historic campus?
On the historic campus, something special. You know, we've been doing communion.
Oh, that's right.
Everybody knows we've been doing communion, and you get the little wafer. Came up with this idea, and Becky helped perfect it. Those little wafers have an indentation of a cross right in the middle of it. And I came up with the idea of trying to find a way that we could incorporate the wine. So I had Regina order me some eyedroppers, and your mama experimented with it. And she found out if you put 1 drop of wine right in the middle of where that little cross is, that wine will run through the little indents and makes the sign of the cross in wine on there. And so she puts them down, she lets them dry, she turns them over and lets them dry again. And we used them for the first time over there. And so we had the wafer and the wine. And it worked great. Because, you know, you missed the wine part of it. And so this week we'll add it, we'll keep it over there, we'll add it here in the chapel. And then next time we have communion over there, we'll have it over there as well. And Becky's working on the ones for over here. And she might have Rosalie working with that some too, I'm not sure, but I know she's working over here. And I think Phyllis Spearman is making them for the historic campus over there. So we're trying to navigate these times where you can't come to the rail and kneel.
I thought that was pretty clever. Did you come up with that on your own?
Every now and then the old boy comes up with something. Every now and then.
Every now and again.
Every now and then.
Phyllis is actually watching
No
right now.
cobwebs right up here, and no cobwebs, working on it.
Yeah, Phyllis is watching right now, and she got the supplies yesterday. I dropped them off for her, so
Right.
thank
That
you,
is-
Phyllis, for doing that.
It's just, you know, you just got to be really careful and put that drop right there and it'll work.
It's too much, and that little wafer's gone.
Oh yeah, Yeah, you get a hole right in the middle of it.
Disintegrates. So that was exciting at historic campus.
Yes, it was.
I think that you had the numbers at historic campus were
Numbers
bigger
are-
than normal.
The numbers are gradually creeping up. About the last, I guess since Labor Day,
Yep.
they've been starting to ease up. On the historic campus, they've been easing up right here, and they've been bouncing up at Cross Point over there too. And I think this part of that is people have moved on past this science thing, a lot of them have, because there's been so much conflicting information out there, you really don't know what's what with that. And so now we've moved past facts. Many people have moved past facts to feelings, and they're feeling safer in going out. And they see lots of people around. They have a bit of confidence in the mask, and we do that, and the social distancing and things. So they're feeling safer about going out, and the perception is that it is safer. And in the absence of facts, feelings prevail, and feelings give rise to perception, and perception is the impetus for what we do. And so the perception is it's safer, and people are coming out. They are. Now the numbers are going down, depending upon how you read the numbers, that stuff is happening. But what does that mean for tomorrow? What does it mean? There's always people jumping up and saying, yeah, they might be down today, but they're going to fly up in 2 weeks. You know, you don't know. And I think also the decision for Southeastern Conference and Big Ten to start playing,
Start
and
football.
Big 8 to start football, and seeing the pro people and the baseball people playing, but the pro football people particularly, seeing them with people in the stands, you know, if they can play football, they can come to church. I like that.
Is that our new little tag?
No,
If they can play football, we can
I
go to
might
church.
write that down in my.
That's in this year's appointment.
might put it in
Yeah,
there.
Ohio State jumped back in.
Yeah,
Because they had
Big
said
Ten.
not
Yeah, they're
doing it.
coming.
Yeah, not doing
They're
it. So
coming.
now I think the pressure was on them. We also had baptisms on Sunday afternoon.
Unusual.
It was a different way of doing it, but
You know, usually we had baptisms in the place during the course of a worship service. And so to try to work around the COVID thing and all that, we did 6 baptisms, one every half hour. So families would come in with their little one or one to be baptized, and nobody else would be in here but that family. And we had the font right here, and Bill and Rosalie helped out with all that, and had the font right here, and I'd have them come up around there, and we baptized them. And it was just a real special thing. But again, it was different. It was different. But one of the things we got to embrace, folks, is different is not always bad. Different is just different. Just different. Just different. One Lord, one faith, one baptism. And the baptism is wonderful, whether it's in front of hundreds or it's in front of your mom and dad and godparents and some friends. So very blessed to be honored to be a part of baptizing those children. Very special. Very special.
and one of them was, I don't know, how old is Rush? 9? 8 or 9?
I think maybe 7 or 8. Yeah, maybe 9, I don't know.
He,
Rush Chapel.
Yeah, that was really sweet. He was dressed up and he was standing and
Spoke for
responding,
himself.
spoke for himself. It was really sweet.
Yep, he knew exactly what was going on. Special old fellow. His family is too. Very blessed to be a part of that. But one of the things, a point I want to make here, as these numbers are going up in attendance-wise, that's wonderful. It really is. But let me tell you, the number of people serving out there is way more important than the number of people who are sitting in here. So we come to worship to be encouraged, inspired, rejuvenated, to go and do ministry. But I think sometimes, because we look at our 2 hands and we say, well, my 2 hands are a lot smaller than my behind, so God has constructed me to do more sitting than serving. And that's just not right, friends. It's just not right. You have a hand to receive a blessing, and you have another hand to share the blessing. And that's what it's about. It's not about you. You're, in essence, supposed to be a piece of PVC pipe, and the blessing flows through you and out to other people. And if all you do is sit and you don't serve, then you're like a PVC pipe that's clogged up. The blessing can't go out. And you're not being faithful. You're not being obedient. The gospel's all about going. It's about going. You come, follow me, so that you can go and serve others. That's the way Jesus works that. But that's another story. I'm not lecturing today.
Not lecturing today.
But I did want to throw that out there.
Yeah, it really is important to, if you've been attending in person, we really do have a need for volunteers across the board. Ushers, safety, registration, Sunday school. We do have some needs. So if you're interested, I sent an email out to a bunch of people that attended service last week and already have gotten probably 5 or 6 emails this morning saying, I can help out, I can help out.
Let me just say something about that. We need volunteers, and you say, well, God, there were ushers there. The thing is, we've got faithful people who serve, but we need to have a large enough group that they can rotate around, so that we've got teams of people coming. I would like to start the Grace Time worship service the 2nd Saturday in October, the Saturday afternoon service, 5:28 on the historic camp. I'd like to start that, but we can't start that without the volunteers. So those of you who are looking forward to the Grace Time service, get in touch with Cheryl Maddox. Cheryl's handling the worship services on that campus. Rebecca has the ones over here. She does a great job with that. Get in touch with her. Send an email to the church office if you don't know how to get in touch with her. We'll get it to her, so that we can have the volunteers and get that service cranked up. I'd like to start the 9 o'clock service over here before the 1st of November. 10:30 service is going great, but as that continues to grow, we need to add another service. I'd like to start that one. Got to have more volunteers. Got to have more volunteers. So those kinds of things, you got to use these 2 hands. You got to think beyond yourself. It's not about you. It's not about you. Isn't that what you were going to say?
So that's exciting. That's what I was going to say.
That's what I thought.
2nd week in October? if we get the help and everything.
That's Grace Time, Saturday afternoon, right? If we get the volunteers.
And technology is a real need. Historic campus, it's working with the PowerPoint slides so that the projections on the walls are going. And we had a new volunteer training last weekend, and Jason's excited about that. So if you're interested in learning tech, it's really not that hard, and you're trained. So we're not just going to put you in a position and then say good luck. We'll never do that.
No. And you are trained because everything that we're doing is important. You know, we're working with no bulletins, anything like that. So the PowerPoints, the stuff that's on the wall, it's important that be done and that be done well. Just like the ushering and everything else. You get trained with those things because they're important. They're important. If they weren't important, we wouldn't be doing them. Food bank this week?
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, it was a big number, and I didn't bring my phone, but I'm pretty sure that we had 167, 68 families served, but 400, I think it was 68 bags of food donated.
Whoa.
That's our biggest yet, I think. That's huge. 468 bags of food were donated.
Wow.
And the Crosspoint service, I sent Cheryl a message on Sunday after service. I'm like, we're loaded up. Those church pews where people drop them off, I mean, loaded up. The whole pew, the wagons on the floor. That was really exciting to see.
You know, I just need to applaud everybody again for that. The volunteering for the food bank and donating food for, bringing it to the drop off at Center Street or bringing it to your worship services, whatever like that. It's just amazing. And it's a witness to the community of the love of God. That's what it is. God's love is played out through you and I, or it's not played out. And we get to witness to people that way. And if we witness to them with a couple of bags of groceries or whatever they're given there at the food bank, you give that to them, it causes them to think about, why are they doing this? Everybody's not, why are they doing this? And Juan's over there talking to them and loving on them and giving them Spanish Bibles and all that other kind of stuff, you know, because it goes together. If you love the Lord, you serve people. Loving and service go together. Whether it's in a marriage or anything else, loving and serving go together.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of that service, we didn't cover that service. We had 40 people in attendance at the 1 o'clock service on Sunday and gave 2 bicycles away at the service to 2 little boys, I think it was. Bikes were donated, and he was able to give them to some kids that needed it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Juan's building a real core group of people, and that core group's expanding and expanding and expanding and getting real steady, identifying, solidifying, and now growing around the periphery of it. And that's 1 o'clock on Sunday afternoons. And I think it starts tomorrow night, a Wednesday night program that he's going to have. He said it's going to be like Vacation Bible School. It'll be adult Sunday school and children's Sunday school and a time of worship all together, and that'll be in the parish hall on the historic campus. And that's 7 o'clock, I believe, on Wednesday nights. So I'm sure he could help use volunteers for there. Sarah and Jabala and the others who are working with that, thank you so much for your volunteering with that. Got another thank you too. Would you like to know what it is?
Yes.
It is just really special how people are so faithful in giving. Whether it's online or mail or in person in worship now, dropping by to bring something, it just is really a blessing. I deal with lots of churches, and many churches in the diocese are struggling financially. You know, and we're doing a great job with that, thanks to your generosity, and I just want to applaud that again. You know, God has blessed us to be a blessing, and y'all are sure blessing ministries through here. Praise God for that, and thank you for that.
What else is on that legal pad? He's got a whole list of, which makes me nervous because
I'm prepared. I'm prepared. Oh, let me see. Night of worship is coming up.
Night of worship is coming up on October 2nd, 7 p.m. Prayer and worship.
Prayer and worship.
Prayer and worship. Nobody's preaching. Pastors can come and pray and worship. Y'all don't have to preach, and
You're not going to do any teaching or anything like that? No.
prayer and worship.
Prayer and worship. 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock doors will open at 6:45. And then 7 o'clock we'll get started.
Do they have to pre-register for that, or they just
You
come?
do have to pre-register for that because, again, we only have a certain number of seats, but people have already started registering.
Great. Well, I'll be there.
Excited for that because
And the music is,
music, quite the trio here. We've got Marissa, Jason, and Jordan. So, but we're not doing the full band, so it's kind of more of a stripped down acoustic type, more intimate.
I didn't hear you say my name.
And perhaps I'll pull your tambourine out of my closet and hand it to you.
There you go. One never knows. There could be a guest
Perhaps.
artist show up here.
Perhaps.
Or else I might work with vocals. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Tomorrow night.
Yes, third installment or third teaching of Jonah, right here from the chapel, streamed online and Facebook.
And the first 2 sessions, you can get that through the webpage, right?
If you go to the webpage, click the tab that says Media. You can go back and watch you can rewatch Padre's Ponderings for a giggle. You can rewatch the teachings, Sunday services, all under the Media tab.
So it might be good if you haven't watched any of them, go back and watch 1 and 2, and then be up to speed for 3. The last one is Wednesday week, and that'll be part 4, and we'll finish. I'm on the 3rd chapter of Jonah this week, and next week we'll be on the 4th and last chapter of that, and I'm just working through it verse by verse by verse, and adding some insights to that you might not get on your own. And that's been a challenge. I've never taught Jonah before.
I like how you're going verse by verse, but the application for us today is very important.
Oh yeah. Otherwise you're just getting information.
Right.
But the application part of it is the information goes here to be applied out there, make a difference in your life. So I encourage you, invite people who maybe haven't been watching it, come and watch it. They'll get something out of it even if they haven't gone back and seen sessions 1 and 2 of that.
And if you're on Facebook, share any kind of services or teachings or anything. Share it to your personal page so that's a way to get people plugged in also. That's how I had friends from Dalzell watching.
What were you saying? If you're watching it on Facebook?
If you're using Facebook, you can share it to your personal page, and then all of your friends then are able to see it. And then they can click over and watch it as well.
I don't do Facebook.
No, he's on Facebook, but he doesn't
I'm not.
personally utilize Facebook.
I don't need to. Your mama wears it out. She wears it out.
She shows you what you need to see.
That's it. That's
yeah.
it.
So
That's
she's your
Just like
assistant.
those vitamins she puts in there when I need to
She
take.
gives you what you need.
And you just don't
she
ask
shows you
questions.
what
You
you need
just
to see.
take them in. It could be arsenic in there. I don't know. But no, she wants to keep
She's
me going.
watching. He didn't mean
She
that.
wants to keep me going. I know that.
Yes.
I know that.
Oh, Phyllis said that Ann Elliott and Betty Mulholland have also been helping. Thank you,
Wonderful.
ladies. It does take a team. It really does to do so many things.
Yep.
So thank you for the team that's working on that.
I've got an idea.
This is why you tune into Padre's
It's
Ponderings.
just percolating around right now. Do you know what November 1st is?
All Saints Day.
Whoa, give you a gold star. Way to go. Way to go. You must have taken confirmation classes or something.
When I was 10.
No,
That was a long time ago.
you don't remember anything from that. I'm thinking, that's a Sunday this year.
Yes, it is.
It's a Sunday. I'm thinking that Sunday night, time will have changed, Gets dark early, so maybe about 6 o'clock Sunday night, to have a special service,
Okay.
an All Saints Day service. And the service will be geared around remembering saints that we have known in our own families. And we did this a lot of years ago, maybe 20 years ago now. But anyway, people would come up to the lectern, they'd get a little votive candle, and they would say, I'm lighting my candle for so-and-so. And some children would be for their grandfathers or spouses, whatever it is. And then they would take the little lit candle and go behind the altar. And behind the altar on the historic campus is that, it's called a reed-table back there. And they put them up back there. We turn the lights down, so you just have the candles on the altar, and then all the little candles back there. And it's and then we had communion. And it was the idea of the communion of saints. And the communion of saints is those who are living and those who are dead. And I'm thinking of doing a service like that because we've had a lot of people now. It's nearing 30 people have died so far this year. And the bulk of them we haven't been able to have any kind of service for. And so this would be a chance to address some of that. And I'm thinking I might preach a sermon there. And it would be a sermon I've done before. It's called I Believe in Heaven. And I might say, preach that sermon again. It's been a long time. I believe in heaven. Because that too is about the communion of saints, that they're gone. Don't know about all that yet, but it's working around right here. So what do you think about that idea?
It's very nice. It has been especially hard, I think, for a lot of people in the past 6 months. And that's when the majority of those 30 people have passed away is during this COVID period. Not from COVID, but during this time period.
Yeah, not from COVID. But
and you don't have that closure. So I think that would be lovely. November 1st.
Been working with the monument people in Sumter on Mama's tombstone. And I have my quote for today.
He brought his own book. He was raring to go today.
I've been up since 5:30, been up here since 6:15, working on that Jonah thing, so I'm rolling.
It looks like you got a haircut.
Had 3 cups of coffee already. Your mama sent an energy drink with me. I'm not sure what all's in there, but she said, you need this.
It's working.
Yeah. So here's the quote. What you leave behind is not what is engraved in stone monuments, but what is woven into the lives of others.
That's true.
And that's a quote from Pericles. What you leave behind is not what is engraved in stone monuments, but what's woven into the lives of others. So what that means is, what you remember about G.D., that's her shaping, that legacy that she left to you, legacy she left to me. That's what it's about, see?
And it's our job to continue that.
Sure. Sure.
No, I think that would be lovely on November 1st.
All Saints Day.
So
Still in the thinking stage.
So what's the liturgical color for All Saints Day? Is it
White.
It is white.
White. The color for new life. Color for funerals and Easter, baptisms,
Weddings.
weddings, new life. Yep. And not long after that, Advent starts. And
I know. I mean,
November 29th
September's
is Advent.
almost gone.
Flying. So what else you got on your mind today?
That pretty much covered it. Did you tick off everything on your legal pad? He operates, how many legal pads do you have going right
I
now?
got
2?
3 right now.
3. Writes really small too. They're loaded up.
I think I've got,
You think you covered it all?
oh, know God's Goods is, I think they
They're
added
rolling.
another.
They added days.
They added
Yes.
a few more times of opening over there. But one of the things, back to the volunteers again, you know, they can do more if they have more volunteers. Check on God's Goods and find out when it is you can donate. Donations are huge over there as well. And get in touch with them and say, if you got some time, you got those 2 hands, and you want to get off your behind, there's lots of stuff you can do over there.
And they also have a lot of things you can do that's not as, I don't know the right word to use.
Well, they got a back of the house and a front of the house.
Right,
The
so
front of the house is where all the people are
Less
coming in to buy
exposure
stuff.
to the
Yeah.
population, I suppose,
And you
would
can
be
go back
working in the
back
warehouse.
in the back where you're processing donations and things like that. You can go back there, or you can have an outside group that's unloading trucks and bringing stuff in too. And then they have another group that drives trucks to people's houses and picks things up. So there's a lot of ways to volunteer without being in the midst of all the people coming in and out there. So.
Yeah.
All right, so
All right, so that you covered a lot of new information too. Hoping to open up Grace Time. I know a lot of people have been asking about that. Second weekend in October, but we need volunteers.
If we have the volunteers.
So if you're interested in volunteering, put it in the comments. Send info@thechurchofthecross.net, and we'll get you signed up to help with volunteering. Potential All Saints.
If we don't start Cross Point on the second Saturday,
No, Grace Time.
Grace Time. If we don't start Grace Time on the second Saturday of October, then you know the reason. The reason is just look in the mirror and you'll see the reason. I like that too.
Yes. Oh, let me tell you about the most precious thing before we sign off today about volunteering. Jack Ross and Charlotte Ross. So Charlotte just turned 6. She had a birthday last week. Jack, I think, is 10. Yes, he turned 10 in the spring. They came back to church on Sunday for the first time since March. No Sunday school. We had to cancel Sunday school for Mike Land. Something came up. And he comes walking up. And, Miss Rebecca, what can I do to help today?
There you go. I like that.
He helped with registration. Had his little mask on. Charlotte would ask, and Charlotte helped too, just as much as Jack. People walked up and Charlotte said, "What is your name, please?" And then Jack, and I'm standing there helping him, but Jack told them where their seats were located.
There you go.
It was precious. And it blessed so many people coming in too, to see this 10-year-old and a 6-year-old volunteering.
So see, if you volunteer, maybe she'll say that you're precious. I don't know.
I will say you're precious if you help.
There you go. There you go. Get the precious title for yourself. Do
All that to say, the 10-year-old can do it.
Well, there you
Everybody
are.
can.
There you are.
But he did it, but the really sweet thing was, it was literally from the overflow of his heart, what can I do to help? Mm-hmm. And Jack always has had open hands.
Yep.
I mean, he just wants to do whatever it is.
Yep.
So
Special little fella.
he really is a sweet kid. All right, so let's go back through that again. Hopefully open up Grace Time second weekend in October. First weekend in October, which is next week actually, night of worship, prayer and worship.
Yep.
Potential All Saints service on November
Potential.
1st. Potential. Lots of big things.
Yep.
Wine on the communion wafers. Things are changing. We're cruising.
I mean, nose up.
That's right.
That's what pilots always want to. They want to say, keep the nose up. Say, keep the nose
Well, yeah.
up. Keep the nose up.
You do not want to be nose down.
Nose down is not good.
Nose down, yeah. So, have a great week. We look forward. I'm not sure where I'm supposed to be looking. So, have a great. Thank you. Have a great week. Serving the Lord in your sphere of influence, wherever that might be. So, go in peace to love and serve the Lord. Thanks be to God.
All right. In all that we do, you know that God loves you, and I love you too. Blessings to you.
Praise you in this will sing of the mercy of Jesus, the name by which all men are saved, who laid down his life for our ransom, the debt of redemption to pay. I will sing of the wonder of Jesus and the cross that he bore for our sin. I will sing of a love that has conquered the grave and the day he's returning again. I will sing of the power of Jesus, through whom all of creation was made, whose glorious light shines eternal and chases the darkness away. I will sing of the wonder of Jesus and the cross that he bore for our sin. I will sing of a love that has conquered the grave and the day he's returning again. I will sing of the beauty of Jesus. I will join in the angels' refrain, lavishing our adoration on him with the loveliest name. Yeah, and I will sing of the wonder of Jesus and the cross that he bore for our sin. I will sing of a love that has conquered the grave and the day he's returning again. I will sing of the wonder of Jesus and the cross that he bore for our sin. I will sing of a love that has conquered the grave and the day he's returning again. I will sing, I will sing, I will sing of the day he's returning again. You are not a God created by human hands. You are not a God dependent on any mortal man. You are not a God in need of anything we can give by your plan. That's just the way it is. You are not a God created by human hands. You are not a God dependent on any mortal man. You are not a God in need of anything we can give by your plan. That's just the way it is. You are God.